Welcome back. All right, sometimes you have secretive Sally, competitive Carl, or gossiping Gracie.
Or Happy Hattie, Crazy Curtis.
So how do you deal with these difficult personalities in one workplace?
Business leadership coach Angela Civitella.
Civitella.
Close. Is that Italian?
Very.
Yeah, I love
close
it. All
enough,
right.
though. Thank
She
you.
has some unique techniques that can help us. Now, you've been an executive coach, and you've been helping out in different ways. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So, as we know, we always have this elephant in the room that needs to be talked about, and that's dealing with difficult personalities in the workplace. And how do you make that function and to the betterment that it doesn't ruin your day, or you have to rethink if you're going to be staying in that position in that workplace. So there's different ways to handle and navigate it. The first thing is that you need to just take a step back and just assess the situation and see, is it usual that this person speaks this way or conducts themselves this way, or is it targeted towards me? So a little introspection is always important to put forward at first. And then you get into start to peeling layers and trying to understand really fundamentally what's going on.
Right.
And that would probably require in a second moment to maybe approach that person and let them know, because they probably have no idea that they're an irritant, that what they're saying or doing is actually affecting you in a negative way. So it's wise to maybe pull them away and speak to them privately and ask them straight up and say, you know, is this you? Do you understand when you say this, when you do this, that it affects me this way, that I feel this way? Instead of attacking them, let them know how it makes you feel. So you own it.
And so this is something you're doing, and again, you have experience as an executive in the corporate world, and then you decided, you know what, you saw a need, and you now go around, you have a team around the country that works with organizations to help not just their workers, but their leaders, right?
Mainly the leaders.
Yeah.
Ironically, it ends up that it's the leader that's more the problem than the team. So we try to realign the vision that the leader has for their business and their team. Because more often than not, there seems to be a disconnect. You're so busy doing the work that there's a lot of things that get not looked after, and they don't realize that they still need to continue being nurtured. Even though the business is doing well and it's profitable, the people need to be looked after too. And you want to make sure that they feel that they have a place to stay, that they want to stay.
Right.
And you minimize turnover by bringing somebody like me in to assess and temper the situation, to create containment so that there's less of those drastic decisions that need to be taken about people getting fired, letting go, downsizing, resizing, or whatever the term is at that moment. We come in and we try to make the best of what they have already in place.
So you mentioned, you know, when you're dealing with a difficult personality, that confront them, ask them if they're self-aware, let them know how it makes you feel. For someone that might find that to be, you know, that's a little too much, or they're very conflict averse, what would you recommend, or what would you have, I guess, advice for that person?
So it's never coming in as a conflict or confronting someone. The confronting is a term that it would suggest that there's going to be a fight, and that's what you don't want. You want to just establish a dialogue, a conversation with somebody, come in at them softly. And if they do come in aggressively towards you, you do the opposite. You stand and you receive it, and you just let them say what they need to say. And once you assert your position as to why it is that you want to have certain information from them as to why they're speaking to you this way or behaving a certain way, in that position of you being assertive, remain silent. And people that get triggered very easily are very nervous around silence. I don't know if you know anybody like that. I know I do. Whenever I make my statement towards somebody and they kind of don't know what angle I'm coming from, I stay quiet. I stay quiet because I know that it's going to trigger. It has to trigger a response from somebody that's usually comes in very antagonistic, wanting to fight, wanting to get into some sort of a debate.
We've got to go to commercial. How can people get in touch with you real quick?
www.intinde.com. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm everywhere.
Great information. Something a lot of people can use out there, folks.
And she's also going to be on our website, so you can catch a segment there at firstcoastliving.net.